The watch purists are gonna hate this one. My first exposure to this brand, like many, was when they came out with this range of only what I can call Royal Oak homages. And these watches shown here that look like sketches of some sort. It was certainly a big deal where I was hanging out. They had a few seemingly unique pieces, but for some reason that I cannot explain, I didn't resonate with them enough for the price. Like this one with gold flakes, I just didn't feel like it was enough of their own thing. When I knew they were really taking steps to do their own thing was when they came out with this gooey watch. I don't even remember the name of it. But for approximately £200 and mostly plastic, I just couldn't justify it. But Kim, you camped outside overnight for a moon swatch. That was $260. Yes, but not only has my taste changed in the last year, I also couldn't make my mind up as these are great in their own way. And with my ADHD, I would jump between tabs and get distracted before I could make a decision. When they came out with these, all I had to decide between were the bright and the dark. I went for the EXP Black because it seems slightly more mature. But the bright one might go well with a more colorful wardrobe style if you have one. I got this on sale with the kind of first order email discount you get, still active from almost a year ago when I signed up for it, bringing it down from like 180, 170 to about 150. The packaging is nice and secure. It feels quite premium and either matches or exceeds the price point. I'm not going to waste time with specs. Here they are on screen. Now this watch reminds me of when I first saw this watch. Don't even know if it's real or not, but I wanted to see a transparent watch that wasn't rubber like the Casio G-Shocks, but also had a bracelet instead of a rubber strap. This dial, thank goodness, isn't trying to be anything spectacular with any texture or detail or anything. Again, something you'll get sick of me complimenting throughout this video is how plain it is. It makes sense. It's not everyday guilloche or chronograph with subdials. The movement is quartz, and I think here is a great time to ask a question I've had for a while. What is the difference between a good quartz and a bad quartz? I see watches that are rightly priced at like £15 with a £5 quartz movement, but there are definitely brands that I've seen charge thousands for quartz movements that I will assume are not the same that go in a Timex or a Casio. Apart from precious metals like the gold of a Cartier quartz watch, I don't see why a quartz watch should cost thousands of pounds, ever. Surely if accuracy is that important to you, and it seems like we're talking the difference between a loss of 10 seconds a day versus 2 seconds a day or something like that, I don't get why you wouldn't just use your phone. And I'm not trying to rage bait here. I genuinely want to know, so let me know in the comments. Anyway, as much as it sounds like coping, I feel like the quartz makes sense for this watch. Mechanical movements lend themselves to history and art, which clash directly with the minimalism and futuristic feel of this watch. A watch like the green rotary I reviewed would have looked better with a mechanical sweeping seconds. However, the ticking seems appropriate with this watch that feels electric. I mean, it's literally named after a type of computer file if I'm not mistaken. Two tiny issues I have with it are that I feel like the seconds hand should have been either grey or black, only slightly lighter in color than the minute and hour hands. The white stands out a bit too much for me. And part 1B of my issue with this watch is that the darkness of the hands does make it hard to read in lower light, especially with no lume. The second issue, however, is more of a preference thing. It's that this has a slight warmth to the color, which kind of makes it feel less lifeless and techy than I wanted it to be. Now let's address the elephant in the room. Of course, this has a Royal Oak feel to it, and that's me putting it lightly. But when side by side, there are glaring differences for sure. No bezel screws, its own dial, hands, bracelet, and obviously materials. This is far enough away from the Royal Oak for me and my taste. Even more so than the Casio Edifice, for example. Yeah, I know that rattled some feathers. This is one, if not the most lightweight watch I own, and I can't wait to test it out long term. I recently tried on a Citizen titanium watch that everyone was going on about, and I hated how cheap and flimsy it felt. For some reason, I feel better about this D1 Milano. Not only is the bracelet less flimsy compared to the Citizen, the fact that this is clearly plastic, something visibly cheap, makes me feel okay with it because its weight matches its looks. I also love how thin it is too. But what else is new on this channel? While I love dress watches more than most other styles, I have to acknowledge that they don't really suit my daily style of clothing. My wardrobe literally consists of like 10 black t-shirts and 10 nylon pairs of trousers with like a modern feel. So I'm often dressed like I work for an emerging tech company or futuristic clothing brand. So in a strange way, this watch suits my style more than any other watch I've ever purchased. My G-Shock comes close, but it's quite bulky and I think looks more outdoor, while this one lends itself to indoor laptop-y Gen Z work, like I do. I must also address this imaginary pressure from the watch community I know we all feel at points in our collecting journey, whether we want to admit it or not. As much as I really wanted this watch as soon as I saw it, this whole experience has been a reminder that nobody else has to live with my watch decisions but me. I'm going to enjoy this watch and I cannot wait to enjoy more from D1 Milano. They've got some good ones, and I'm not ashamed to say it. All in all, this watch is a bit of me. Integrated bracelet, unique style, thin, with a material and minimal style I've not seen anywhere else. 7 out of 10. If you enjoyed this video, press the like button, don't forget to subscribe, and have a good day. I need to have like an intro for this channel and an outro. Let's put some suggestions in the comments.